Hello everyone, this is Laura and welcome to our Project Prevent February statewide meeting. We're getting started just a couple of minutes late and I apologize, but we've had some technical difficulties. Stephanie and I are actually moving our offices and have been doing that yesterday and today, but we are up and running now with our new time. It will still be the first Wednesday of every month, but it's now from 12 to 12:30. Those of you who were used to being able to tune in live at 3, you will have the recording by that time so that you can still stick to your 3 o'clock time if you'd like. We are still working on getting our YouTube channel up and running, and I feel like we will have that very soon so that you'll have a couple of different options, different ways to view the statewide meeting. You'll still get the recorded link, Dropbox link that I'll email out, but then you can also just find them on our YouTube channels. So I hope that everyone has settled back in and gotten back to the swing of being in school after winter break. I know that before we know it, we'll be at spring break, and I just wanted to kind of give you a quick update about Project Prevent and some things going on with us, and then also give you guys some ideas for some projects that you can do throughout the spring. So first I want to update you on our chapter membership. So as of now, we are up to 52 chapters across the state, and that is 835 student members. I know just before winter break, I mentioned that we had several new chapters formed, the SWAG teams. We're so happy to have you guys, as well as a couple of other community groups throughout the state. So we have grown to 52 chapters. The student membership, that 835, represents 50 of our chapters. We still have 2 that we're waiting to get their numbers, so we might actually even reach 850, but I'm just absolutely thrilled to have this many students involved in Project Prevent. We ended the school year last year with around 340 students, so we have more than doubled our membership, and I'm just so happy about that. If you look at the map, the lighter blue colored counties have 1 Project Prevent chapter within their county. The dark blue has 2 chapters, and then Pulaski County actually has 3 chapters throughout the county. So I'm really happy with this, excited, and I'm really enjoying watching all the projects that you guys do and getting all the updates. And I love when you guys are able to send pictures. I'll have some more pictures to show in the March statewide meeting because I've just started getting a few more in. So I'm really happy that we've grown this much, and you guys should be very proud too, and your advisors should be very proud for building this membership. Let's see. So with our 835 members and possibly more, we feel like we want to challenge you all to increase our Instagram followers. So currently, out of 835 of you, only about 253 follow us right now. And I understand that not all of you have Instagram, and that's okay, but I do think that probably most of you do, or at least half. So what Stephanie and I are thinking of, some type of challenge, and we don't know exactly what the result will be, but if we were to increase our followers, and double the amount of followers that we currently have, if we're able to reach 500 followers, we want to be able to do something big to celebrate. So number 1, we need you guys to follow us on Instagram, SOS Project Prevent. Number 2, we need you to help us come up with an idea of what we could do when we reach that 500. So just be thinking about that. We need you to help us create an Instagram challenge, and we need you to help us reach our goal for the Instagram challenge. And Stephanie actually has the winners from the past month for the Trivia Tuesday that we do on Instagram. If you're not familiar, if you're not following, we post things throughout the month, obviously, but we also Stephanie really keeps up with our Instagram account, and I'll let her tell you about the Trivia Tuesdays that she's doing.
So by now you probably all know that on the Instagram we do Trivia Tuesday every week, and you can go and vote, and it's like trivia questions about tobacco and smokeless tobacco and all different kinds of things. And so last statewide meeting, we had our first set of winners, and we have 3 more this month. And these people are just like some of our followers that get on each week and they vote and they've gotten the correct answer. And so this week, our winners are at Leighton Gowdy, at Reagan_Lyles22, and at Caitlin Nicole_K. And then we can just like email these usernames out with the meeting too. That way you can see them. And then if you are one of these people, if this is your username and you won, you can just send me an email and I'll send that out. We'll send that out with the recording too. That way you'll know how to contact us. And then you can just send us an email if you're one of these people, or if this is one of your friends, let them know that they've won. And then you will get a little prize in the mail for winning Trivia Tuesday.
Yeah. So, a fun way to learn more about tobacco prevention and some fun facts that you can use, but also we're giving away prizes. So help us increase our membership, our following, and help us come up with an idea for when we reach that 500. Okay, so February is National Oral Health Month, and there is a strong correlation between tobacco use and oral health issues. So I've added a few links here to that specifically addresses tobacco and oral health to give you guys some more information as you start thinking about some projects that you might want to do throughout the month. But the American Dental Association has some information about smokeless tobacco and oral health on mouthhealthy.org, and then Delta Dental has some tobacco and oral health information, as well as the Oral Health Foundation at dentalhealth.org. So all 3 of those links are there. They have fact sheets. They have a lot of really good information. I have an infographic here from the CDC that just says smokeless tobacco like chew and dip can cause cancer of the mouth, esophagus, and pancreas. So there's infographics, there's posters, there's fact sheets that you guys can use at all of those links. And then I also wanted to kind of just let you know a few things that you could do this month. America's Tooth Fairy has a project called the Smile Drive, and this would be something that would be fun and easy for you to do throughout your school. And if you were really ambitious, you could even try to put some boxes out to collect oral health items at like your local banks or any local businesses in your town. So the idea is to collect toothbrushes, floss, toothpaste, that type of thing, and then donate it to either a church or some type of outreach program within your community, or just back to your school. You could work with your school counselors to donate those items for students that are in need. So there's the link, and they'll have information about it there, but it's a very easy project. And of course, you can always include tobacco and oral health information when you put out your Smile Drive boxes. And then just to remind you that Through with Chew Week is always the third full week of February, which will be the 17th through the 23rd. Stephanie and I are kicking off Through with Chew Week with our friends in Mountain Home. On the 16th, we'll be at a rodeo in Mountain Home, and our chapter up there is going to, several students are going to volunteer. So we're looking to, we'll be setting up a table and playing some games and giving out information about oral health, tobacco use, and Through with Chew Week. And then the Great American Spit Out is February 21st. It's just exactly like the Great American Smoke Out, but at this point, it's a day that people encourage others to stop using smokeless tobacco, dip, or chew on that day. So those are a few things going on in February and just a couple of ideas, but I also wanted to share a couple of other things. As you remember, we talked about before, and I have sent out some emails, but my reason to write is one of Project Prevent's big projects for the year, and this is a writing contest for grades 2nd through 8th, where they can, any students from any school can enter a poem, an essay, or song lyrics about ways that you live tobacco and nicotine free and how you encourage your friends to do the same. So some of you might fall within these grades, and you can certainly enter this project. And those of you that are ninth grade and above, it would be really helpful if you would promote this in your elementary schools and your middle schools for us. Last year we had over 700 entries. It was, I want to say, maybe 780 something entries from throughout the state. I'd love to reach 1,000 this year, so we could certainly use your help. I'll be sending out some packets of posters and handouts and things about it. I'll be mailing those to the advisors, but you can also go to sosprojectprevent.com and click on this button that says My Reason to Write, like you see here on the screen, and it will take you to the rules and how to enter and all of that good stuff. The prizes are great. We give out first, second, and third prizes for the grades 2 through 5 and 6 through 8 in the essays, and then the lyrics and poems 2 through 5 and 6 through 8. The prizes are, now that I say that, I believe it's a Chromebook, and then a Nook tablet and Beats headphones. So some really cool prizes too. There's not an actual event for this, but when the winners are selected, then we'll travel around, Stephanie and I, and deliver prizes and award the students at their schools. If you have any questions about My Reason to Write, please let me know. Next, you've heard us talk about Ready, Set, Record. The film festival is coming up this month, February the 20th. It's here in Little Rock at the Ron Robinson Theater, and we would love for all of you, any of you, to come and join us and watch the film festival. I know that field trips are not always easy, but if you are able to get away for the day, it's a really fun event. I want to point out that several of our chapters had students that entered, and they are part of the finalists. So you can see the list of finalists here. So our chapters out of the finalists are Charleston High School, El Dorado High School, Harrison, their middle school is a chapter of ours, so we're going to go ahead, and same with El Dorado, so we're going to go ahead and claim you guys as our own. Lisa Academy West, and Valley View High School. So all of those that were chosen finalists are Project Prevent chapters. I could not be more proud of you guys. And I have to say, I have watched the videos of the finalists, and they're fantastic. So the film festival will be showcasing all of the videos, and then each of these teams will be awarded. There is a link here where you can sign up. You do have to register, and we're sending you home with a to-go lunch, like a boxed lunch. There's not really a good place to eat inside the theater, but this theater is located directly across from the River Market downtown, and there's places to eat inside the River Market. There's the pavilion outside. You could take it with you on the bus, but we wanted to be able to go ahead and feed you guys lunch this year. Anyone that comes will get a t-shirt, and like I said, it's just a lot of fun. We serve popcorn and drinks during the show. So if you're interested, you must register by February the 15th. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Okay. Just a handful of spring activity ideas. Kick Butts Day is coming up in March. That's the 20th. For Arkansas, Kick Butts Day almost always falls during spring break, but just remember that you can do an activity like in recognition of Kick Butts Day, and it could be the week before or 2 weeks before or the week after. If you want more information, there's the link, and you can even register your event at kickbuttsday.org too. Since it will start getting a little warmer, it might be a good idea to organize a day that you want to go pick up trash at maybe on your school campus or at a local park in your town. A good idea, number one, wear gloves. But also, if you have a container that you can keep your cigarette butts that you pick up into a separate container, it's a great visual to be able to take it to your school administration or to the mayor if you're at a city park, or your city council, and just say, look, there's two problems here. We've picked up this many cigarette butts on a playground where children play. But also it's a secondhand smoke issue, but it's also a litter issue. So those are fun activities and a good way to do some community service and be of service to your community, but also kind of advocate for some change for some smoke-free parks. And certainly your school campuses shouldn't have cigarette butts, but unfortunately they often do. Which reminds me that I do still have the tobacco-free school signs. If some of you have not gotten those yet and would like some, or if you need some more, I have those that I can send out to you. If you remember, it just says, "Welcome to our tobacco-free school, no smoking, vaping, or dipping," which is state law. And then at the bottom of the sign, there's a place where you can write in your own hashtag or the name of your Project Prevent chapter. I just ask that you don't simply go stick signs around your school. I really want this to be an advocacy project where you are talking to your principal or your superintendent, or talking at school board meetings. We've had several chapters that have done that and have been very, very successful. I know when Berryville went, they had 5 minutes on the agenda, but it ended up being like 30 minutes of them talking about the enforcement of people still using tobacco products on their campuses, especially when you think about like the parking lots during ball games or your car rider line. You know, any part of your school campus is supposed to be completely tobacco free by state law. And I skipped Wendy the Lungs, but I want to go back up to that one. You should, if you are one of the Project Prevent chapters that are funded through my grant, you should have your Wendy the Lungs kit. If you have not gotten it, please let me know. I do have a few extras, so if you don't have one and you'd like to borrow it, then we can just easily put that in the mail to you, or run it to you if you're close by, and you can borrow one of ours. So what it is, if you're not familiar, it's from Oregon Wise Guys, and it's a curriculum for grades K through 2nd, and it's all different organs of the body, but this one is just the lungs, and it has several little storybooks and lessons that go along with Wendy, the character, and they're all related directly to tobacco. So there's the link for the lesson plans if you just want to take a look at it. But that'll be a great project for you guys to do for the spring, that peer-to-peer education and talking to the younger kids at your school is really, really helpful. And one last thing I wanted to mention, we've talked about this before, but I don't know that anyone has done it this school year, but this is something that a handful of you guys could do on your own time, you know, outside of school. If you wanted to get together, 3 or 4 of you, and go do a STARS survey. So that's the Standardized Tobacco Assessment for Retail Settings. Here's the link where you can print off. It's a front and back piece of paper where you're just doing a survey of how tobacco products are advertised at a certain store. This would be really helpful if there was a gas station or a store that was really close to your school campus that had a lot of tobacco advertisements outside. It's just really eye-opening to see how tobacco products are advertised and marketed, especially to young people. And it's very common to have a lot of tobacco places that kind of pop up around junior highs and high schools. It's also really interesting to see how they're marketed in different income areas. So you might have kind of a higher income area that has a gas station where you won't see hardly any signs, and then you might go into a lower income area and the gas station is just completely covered up with tobacco advertisements. So that's an easy project for a handful of you to do, and then you could come back to your next Project Prevent meeting and discuss with the whole rest of your group what you saw and just kind of what your thoughts are about that and kind of how that makes you feel. Okay, moving on. Oh, I wanted to let you know that the FDA has put out some new posters for vaping. If you, these are supposed to be mailed to every high school. Here's the link at the top, but they're both very similar. One says, if you don't think vaping is addictive, it may have already altered your brain. The nicotine in vapes can disrupt the development of a teenage brain and lead to addiction. And the other one says, a nicotine-free vape is not a worry-free vape. Vapes can expose you to toxic chemicals like formaldehyde and acrolein, even if they don't have nicotine. So these posters are available for you to download and print your own, or you can even order, I think, up to 10 on your own. They'll mail them to you. But the link is at the top. if you go to that link, it states that they're mailing these to every high school in the United States, which blows my mind, but you might not want to wait for that. You might want to go ahead and download your own. And a couple other opportunities. There is a grant writing workshop that the Healthy Active Arkansas Sugar Sweetened Beverage Reduction Work Group is hosting. It's on February 20th, which unfortunately is the same day as Ready, Set, Record. But if you were planning to come to Ready, Set, Record and you have someone else at your school or at your community group that's interested in grant writing, you can please pass this on to them. It is an all-day thing from 8:30 to 3:30, but it's here in Little Rock, but there's an option for you to do it online. So you could view it remotely. And then you may want to use those grant writing skills to write for a grant that's available for schools right now. The Rethink Your Drink, Choose Water campaign from Healthy Active Arkansas. They've partnered with Delta Dental, and they've committed $41,000 to replace existing water fountains to the ones that have the water fountain and the water filling thing in it. And they're doing that at a set number of schools. So the deadline for that grant is the end of this month, February 28th. I'll email out that grant application. There wasn't a link that I could send, but I can just forward it. And the link for the training, of course, the grant writing workshop is up above. And I think that is all I have for this month. I do want to remind you guys that if you have not turned in a report for December or January, I know that those were both kind of short months, and you can combine those. This is for the chapters that report directly to me. If you want to combine your January and December report, please go ahead and get that to me. I think I said in the last email by the 5th of the month, but originally I had told you by the 10th of the month. So ideally, sometime at the beginning of the month, I will have the previous month's report from you. And also remember, too, that any chapter, whether you're a swag team or a community group or one of my chapters, every time you do an actual activity, if you do trash pickup, if you talk to your school board and put out your tobacco-free school signs, whatever project you do, please be sure to report that on our website, sosprojectprevent.com. It'll say, what are your chapters doing? And you click on that, and it's a short report where you just say what you did, who you are, when you did it, and that's something that even students could fill out. So, we want this to be youth-led, fact-fed, so you guys can help your advisor with some of that reporting by being able to do that simple activity report online. Remember, we do have Facebook, where Stephanie shares a lot of really helpful articles. SOS Project Prevent is our Facebook handle, and don't forget our Instagram handle is SOS Project Prevent, and we are trying to get to 500 members. If you guys need anything at all from me, like I said, we are moving offices currently, and we're kind of in limbo right now and working from a laptop, but Stephanie and I are available anytime you have questions or need help with any projects. We have been doing several advocacy trainings right at the end of last semester, and we've done a couple, and we have a couple more scheduled. So we would love to have the opportunity to meet with you guys or help you work on a project or anything that we can do. Just please let us know. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me at this time? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much, and let me know if you need anything.